having me, man. But before we even move forward with this show, man, I want to say thank you so much for your hard work, your vision, for giving people like myself and other people an opportunity to come in and be open. A lot of time people have podcast shows, but they're not comfortable. Every time I'm in your presence, I'm always comfortable, bruh. And so it allows me to open up and give people what they want to hear. So thank you so much. So this is a classic interview. I keep it
Yeah,
classic.com.
always.
And and man, this one for Buddha, bruh.
It's one for Buddha.
Yeah, this one for Buddha.
Long live Buddha.
Yeah.
Let's get
Yeah,
into it
long
then.
live for Buddha
Yeah,
first.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So let's go and do
Let's
this.
get into it. So let's we halfway through your race.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe almost about a quarter left, right?
Mhm,
So it ain't too
mhm.
much left. What's the progress with you? What's the support looking like? What are you hearing? What are your policies? Where we at with it?
Well, first of all, what I would like to say, thank you for that book that you introduced me
Mhm.
to. Reading that book put a lot of things in perspective, the loneliness of the Black Republican.
Mhm.
And as you know, I'm running as a Black Republican in the Black community that traditionally vote Democrat. So getting out into the community and canvassing and knocking on doors and introducing myself and telling people that would you ever vote for a Black Republican? And at first they hesitate. You a Republican? I say a Black Republican. And the reason why I say a Black Republican because first and foremost I'm a Black man. And second of all, my platform is the Republican Party. And so I think it's important to people to see that even though I'm on the Republican platform, I haven't lost my Black identity. So it's
Mhm.
very important for me to distinguish that. The other thing is that, Raphael, it is so humbling, bro, to knock on people's doors and them begin to open up to you, share about their personal life, their experiences, how no one has never come and knock on their door. You're the first one that I ever had any type of politician to knock on my doors. I always see the signs, but I never see the person. Um, at first they say, well, man, I'm not gonna vote for no Republican. But then as the conversation continue to go on and they get to see that it's not necessarily the letter by a person name, but it's the person. And when they finish having conversation with me, they see that I'm very authentic and I have a heart for people. Raphael, a lot of people are hurting in the Black
Indeed,
community, bro.
indeed.
And the issue that I have is that they still willing to vote for the same people for those same positions, even though they are still in those same predicaments.
Right.
And so one of the things that I think is important for our community to do is to be open, right? So traditionally you may have voted Democrat, your grandmother, right? But that don't mean that you need to vote that way. Time has changed. And so people have said, Stafford, I like you. I'm going to give you an opportunity. But we'll see once the election is over with. But to be honest with you, Raphael, I think just having the ability to talk to people and people see that I'm a people person,
Yeah.
it's not about, let's say, the politics. And so I explain to them, I say, hey, listen, it's important for you to vote for the first Black state Republican senator in the history of Georgia.
Say that again and look at that camera so they understand what's going on.
Furquan Stafford, me. Which one? Which
That's your
camera?
camera right there.
Right here.
Yeah.
Furquan Stafford, the first Black state Republican senator in the history of Georgia.
Mm.
That's me.
There you go.
So
So hold on. Let's say this right. Let's say if you win. I believe you can win. I believe you're going. Matter of fact, you've already won. Right? Let's claim this. Right? You've
sure.
already won.
for sure, 100%.
You celebrating. You making your calls. Right? I feel like I got in here. Next day you show up to work. Day one. What are you doing when you get to the state house?
I want to focus on the foster care system in the state of Georgia. I am a byproduct of the foster care system. I grew up in the foster care system. So I want kids to see someone like me, right? Who mother abandoned them, awarded to the state, shuffle from place to place, being around people who you never seen before. And I want them to not be a statistic, right? Because the truth of the matter is kids that come out the foster care system, it's a pipeline to the prison system or homeless, right? I'm going to work with a young lady who I met on my campaign trail, and she's an advocate for the foster care system. Matter of fact, she adopted two of her boys from the foster care system. And so oftentimes in our community, the black community, we only see our heroes as athletes or entertainers. I think it's important because we live in a different time that they see someone like me who's not an athlete or an entertainer and went through the same things that you've gone through and now on the cusp of making history. And the reason why I believe that the black community should vote me as the first black state Republican senator is because on the state level, and that's the thing I also explained to the constituents in District 10, is that we're focused on the presidential election, but not on the local and state, which is the one that governs our community.
Right.
I say that you need representation on that side of the aisle, particularly in the state of Georgia. The state of Georgia is a Republican state. The House is Republican, the Senate is Republican, and the governor is Republican. On this side of the aisle, you have all black Democrats and a few white Democrats. On the other side of the aisle, you have all white Republicans. You need at least one person at the table to be the voice for the people.
Sounds pretty logical to me.
Correct. The crazy thing about that, Raphael, when I explain that to the constituents, they say, you make a lot of sense. I never thought of that. See, when they think of the word Republican, they think of racism. They think of, white people not liking black people.
Is America racist?
America has its challenges. It's not what it used to be, but it's still there. And I think it's more so mentally. And in our community, our young boys are not mentally tough. I think social media, the phone, I think it's a great invention, but I think it has transformed our community into something that we're not. We all programmed. So I can tell when a person has been programmed by their phone. I look how they interact with me. I look how they interact with their phone, just the conversation. Like, one of the things about a phone, it takes away from people skills.
Indeed.
Being able to talk. It's good to find information, but I think that it hinders. Like, you go into a restaurant. I tell my wife, when me and her go out to eat, babe, put your phone in the car. When we go and sit down to
Let me
eat.
tell my wife that I damn near might tell her anything. I put that phone down.
But I say that to say, baby, we need to focus on the moments. The only thing that you can take away from this life are the experience and the moments. And the phone is the internet and all social media is cool. But right now, let's focus on us. Let's focus on our journey. Let's appreciate where we are. Raphael, reading that book, The Loneliness of the Black Republican Man, it's a lot of people who have fought for civil rights for black people in the Republican Party. And man, when I think of the opportunity that I have right now, it's humbling, bro. Because Jackie Robinson, he was a Republican.
Mm-hmm.
He was a strong voice in the Republican Party.
Why are people so offended by black Republicans?
Because they think it's the narrative of them losing their black identity to become acceptable to the white community. And so it's more so about how can I impact my community before I transition, right? So I read a lot and I look at the good and the bad of our leaders or the people who I might look up to, right? One of the things that I see that's a common trend among people who've done great things while they're living it's the things that they did behind closed doors. And once they die, those things come out and it destroys their legacy. So it's not documented. People can't, your legacy can't outlive you. It has been halted because of your character. And so one of the things that I bring to the table, number one, is I'm heavily committed to my biblical studies. And so
How important is Christianity to you?
I won't necessarily say it's Christianity. I would just say just studying the Word of God, the Bible. Like in your song, you said that it's two people who found God. One took his shahada, the other one baptized. The other one will repent, and the other one will pray. So I don't necessarily get caught up
So
into.
let me frame that better. How important is religious values, spiritual values?
It's everything to me. You can take away every materialistic thing from me, my clothes, everything, but just don't take away my Bible. My Bibles is what transformed me and has given me the mental and the spiritual strength to be able to be at this point, being mature now spiritually, being able to sit across another mature man and win his respect. That's the thing that I really appreciate. That's the thing I appreciate about you, bro. You respect me, right?
Yeah, indeed.
You respect me. And in my journey, my campaign journey, I only had three people to give me three black people to give me a financial contribution. You, DeJuan, and Dr. Joyce. It's three people. And you already told me a long time ago, you said, man, a lot of people don't believe in you, but I believe you got a shot. And that's why I'm sitting here, because you believe in me. And it's something about when another black man believes in another black man, how that uplifts his spirits. Between me and you, we complement each other. We don't compete against each other.
Right.
Because we understand from a mature standpoint, in order for us to grow as men, we need to complement each other, not compete. Just like the women, right? The women, they come together. They understand the power of unity.
Always.
Us black men, we have ego problems. We have insecure problems. Man, I've always complimented you on the things that you do,
Yeah.
right? When I look at you and how you raise Mayor, bruh, I admire that so much, brother.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you why.
Where Mayor at? Mayor, come on, sit over here. Because Stafford always giving you props. Come on, come sit right here.
Always, bro.
Come on. Sit right here. There you go.
Yeah, so when me and Mayor, we was in the back, we had a business meeting.
Yeah.
And so we came up with what's the name of the new character we came up with?
Think about it. Brown what?
The Brown Knight.
Came up with the Brown Knight. He said, hey man, let's sit at the table. And so the powers that he came up with was thinking and pencil, write things down and it come to life.
Yeah.
And that's Mayor. My wife said Mayor is an analytical person. He thinks things out. You know, he'd be like, okay. And I told him that every time I see him, he always have a book.
Yeah.
And that's because of the teaching in his household.
Yeah.
See, Raphael,
do you think we need more of that back in the community?
Yes, I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
I just think like in the black community, we have had black leadership under the Democrat policies. Their policies have destroyed the black community. They have removed the husband, the male, the black man outside of the home.
Why?
Because
why have
it put
Democrats removed the black man out the house?
Control. Control.
Someone say, I ain't removed him out the house. He removed his damn stuff out the house. Excuse my language.
It's control. It's control. Because the most valuable asset is our black women. They count as 2 points. They are a minority and a female. If you do research and you read, black women was a valuable piece for the infrastructure in the slave master home. She breastfed, the kids.
Yeah.
She
Took care
cooked,
of them.
she cleaned.
Yeah.
She was very loyal,
Yeah.
right? And so that's kind of what you see today, but it's in a different format.
Yeah.
And so it is said that if I give you something, I'll give you money, I give you a house, I give you food. But in order to keep that, that man can't be here. So the fear of losing those things puts that family in jeopardy.
Now let's say we move forward and say, like, at current day, 2024, you have these brothers, and so this is my pushback, right?
Mm-hmm.
Being a father, being a black man, being a business owner, being a man, being a human, an adult, a responsible adult. Let's remove this label.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard work, right? It's hard work, and a lot of guys and women, but I'm going to speak to guys. They stray away from responsibility. They stray away from hard work, and the sisters now. I understand your conversation where you say, when the sisters say, I'm tired though, right? Because anybody would be tired, right? Like, you're tired, right? I've tried to make do for a very long time by myself. I've been trying to piece this together. I've been trying to raise these babies, and for a long time, I had an unconscious bias where I sided with certain things, but as of these last few months, right, it's certain things I've seen within, I could say even less, maybe 6 months, with black men, and because it's not a lot of Staffords, right? It's not a lot of brothers who say, I'm willing to go against the grain for what I believe in, right? That's a man, right? So my support for you is that, well, I see that and within myself. I see myself within you, right? Like, I'm going to go against this grain. I got a message. People don't want to hear it, and I don't mind standing out. And I feel like a lot of us have just conformed, right? I'm starting to see now to pick up men speaking up, certain things, but not at the pace it need to be at, right? Because these sisters been doing it for a long time, right? So I don't get mad at them for having super liberal values and finding allies in other places, right? Because the head of the household ain't there, right? So I have to find other ways that the third leg is missing, the fourth leg is missing. And for the brothers, I just continue to encourage them. I'm hopeful, but I encourage them to, let's get on it though. Let's take care of this business, right? I need 10,000 Staffords. Let's be honest. I need 1 million Staffords, right? People who are willing to go in the community with your wife and start these programs. And whether they got the money or not, I'll make a way, right? I'll make a way. That was the spirit of our people that I just hope that we can find that spirit again. And, again, I'm hopeful, but we got work to do.
Well, going back to what I was saying, how powerful that black woman is, right? So a woman has the ability to speak life into a man, and she has the ability to speak death, mm-hmm. right? And so in our community, not all of them, but a lot of them have broken the spirits of black men through negative words. Mm. You ain't this, do this. And so for me and you, we have women in our life, we have wives in our life mm-hmm. that speak life into us, that believes in us, right? And having these wives to believe in us, it allows us to have the strength to go against the grain. All my life, I've been going against the grain. So this is nothing new. Like, I wanted to touch on something, Raphael, and so in one of your songs, bro, you told your twin son, one of your twins, not to have that hatred in his heart. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And man, not too long ago, I had real hatred in the heart towards a person. And so not having a stable childhood, right? I was tossed from this home to that home. So I ended up living with my sister's father, first cousin.
Mm.
And man,
2 minutes off on this card, guys, so make sure he gets his chance to say that.
okay. So one day, bro, this man used to just beat me. I mean, like beat me, right? So he tied me to a table, right? And he had a leather belt. And that leather belt had round metal holes, right? And I forgot what I did, but it didn't warrant that. And man, he beat me so bad, bro. Like, I mean, like he beat me, like he whooped me, bro. And I'm just tied, like my hand over here, other hand leg. I mean, I'm tied. I'm tied to the table. And man, I had hatred in my heart towards that man. But I knew, like, reading the word, it was telling me, like, hey, man, that hatred's not going to hurt him. It's going to hurt you. So after listening to your song, bruh, I had to give him a call. I found his number. And I reached out to him, and I just wanted to let him know that, man, I forgive you, right? And my forgiveness is not necessarily for you. It's for me. Because where I'm going in life, I can't have that type of hatred, because I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna keep it a bean. If I'd have saw him prior to that, I probably would have crashed out, right?
Yeah, as we all would.
Yeah. So man, that song resonated with me deeply, bro. You know what I mean? And I just want to say thank you for just putting a record together that ministered to my spirit, to move me and confirm what I was already supposed to do.
Check this, just like this. I just wanna talk to you so bit. I just wanna talk to you. I'm the black sheep.